Hey there, it's Kathy Howes with Be Creative with Kathy. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a spanner card. Now, I've never even heard of a spanner card, and I think it's the hot commodity here. It's all over right now. And so it looks like this. And when you lift it up, it has like this little bridge here, and then the card just keeps going. So it's a cute card. So I saw this idea from Glenda Mollett. Now she's a new friend of mine. We met in Vegas. She lives in Canada, and she shared it in her Craft Room Stamper. So that's her YouTube channel. And she said in the video that she got this from Maxine Finch, who's another friend of mine, as a roomie stamp there in Vegas. So, a roomie swap, excuse me. It was a roomie swap there in Vegas. So she made this card and I made it along with her on her video. But I thought I would show you real quick how to make this card. Before I do that, and today I'm going to share a lot of products. So if you haven't seen all those new designer series papers that Stampin' Up! Has to offer, I'm going to show them to you today. So this one uses the, I don't remember what it's called. Hold on. Berry Christmas designer series paper. So let me show you what that looks like. This designer series paper is adorable. Well, I think it's adorable. It coordinates with a stamp that looks like this. That's where I got this. Where did my card go? This Merry Christmas was out of the stamp set, and it also has a punch that you can punch out some of the bears in the designer series paper. So there's a few bears you can punch out. But let me show you the designer series paper. I'll show you the front now. Look, I fussy cut. That's where I got this bear was. I just fussy cut it out of the designer series paper. And then the back looks like that. So hopefully you can see. Look how cute this pattern is. Does it all even fit on my screen? And then the back is a starry back. And then this one. And then the back looks like this. Look how cute that designer series paper is. And then there's this one, and then the back looks like that. And then you have the snowflakes, and then look how cute the paw prints on the back, and then the presents with the green pattern. And so that's what that designer series paper looks like, and that's what I did for this card here, just like Maxine and Glenda. But let me show you another one. So the next one I'm going to make, or the one I'm going to make today, I'm going to use some of this Bright and Beautiful designer series paper. I've been using, I think this is my third pack already. I've been using a lot of this. But in this pack, well, let me show you this real quick too. This one has a lot of the same pattern. Maybe if we just flip like this, you can kind of see. Oh, and there's the pattern we want. We're going to use this one. There we go. But I'll flip through here so you can see all those bright colors and the different patterns in this paper too. Make sure real quick that my speaker, yeah, okay, my mic is worried. I'm always worried. Ever since I was told you can't hear me, or that, if the volume is bad, I just panic a little bit with my volume. So, okay, you can still hear me, right? Thumbs up. Anyway, so we're going to use this designer series paper, and this designer series paper is in a bundle with the beautiful balloons and the beautiful balloon dice. So we're going to use those to make our card today. And out of this paper, I decided to use that Afternoon Azure Blue as my card base. So I have a piece of that is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's just scored right here at 4 1/4. So it's just a half a sheet of paper scored your normal card base. We're going to cut that down. We're going to cut down the designer series paper, but let me tell you some other pieces of cardstock that we're going to use too. I have a strip here of that same Afternoon Azure in the 5.5 by 1 inch. And then I have, for the inside of our card, 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I have a scrap of that Afternoon Azure, and I have a piece of basic white that's a scrap. And then I'm going to use this. Now this Stampin' Up! Has just offered its While Supplies Last a specialty paper. And look at this. It comes in gold and silver. It's glimmer paper, but it has adhesive back. So there you go. Now this, when I first saw it, I bought a bunch of it. I was worried it was going to sell out really fast, and I didn't want to lose out. So anyway, we're going to use that too. So let's start by getting ready and cutting all of our paper first. So like I said, we're going to cut this paper down. Let me get my paper trimmer. and I'm going to put it in here. Now this is the 5.5 inch side, and I'm going to line it up at 1 1/4. Can you see that? And I'm going to use this side of my trimmer, 1 1/4, and I'm going to cut down. Well, really, I'm going to cut from the bottom up to that score line. So this, and I might get my head in my camera because I want to make sure I get right up there to the score line. Then I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing to the other side. So 1 1/4, and then just slide that trimmer up there to the score line, and now I have a piece of paper that looks like this. Okay, let's go ahead and cut our designer series paper. So the first thing I need is I need a strip of designer series paper that's going to go on this 1 inch piece of cardstock. So I'm going to cut this at 3 3/4 right here off what I'm going to call the bottom. Well, in fact, I'm going to turn it this way. I don't know why. It probably doesn't make a difference, but to me, just then it did. So I'm going to cut this off down here, and I said this is at 3/4 of an inch, like this. So I have this strip now that'll fit on this, although you can see it's too big. So then I need to cut it down to 5 1/4. So just as easy as that, we're going to trim that down. Now I have this piece that can go on here and fits perfect. Okay, so let's work on this piece now. Now I want this to be 4 inches high, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it here at 4 inches. This is the only piece left that we're not going to use today. Well, there might be another piece, but mainly that's what, well, let's just see what happens. Because then I need a piece that's 1 inch. So I'm going to cut that one. And I'm going to lay this so I can kind of see how they all go together. I would like them to stay the same way on the front of my card. This piece needs to be 2 3/4. So you saw how I turned it over because I want to make sure it stays so it looks like it's still together. Then I'm going to turn this over and cut this one more. We need one more 1 inch piece. Now, there might be an easier way to do that. That's how I do it, so that's what happens. And then we have this piece here, so we still have like a card front. This, I guess, is another scrap, unless you want to try to use these on the inside of your card. I'm not going to today. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a little bit of stamping so that we're ready to finish the front of our card. And then we can slap it all together. So I'm going to get my Pierce mat here because my stamp set is photopolymer. Now I believe, and I should have looked at the back, but I believe that the yellow in my designer series paper is that new Lemon Lolly, but I wanted something a little bit darker, so I'm going to bring in Daffodil Delight and ink up. Did I show you this stamp set yet? Here it is. I'm going to ink up this big balloon right here. Make sure he's nice and inked up, and then I'm going to just set him on my paper. I'm going to let him sit there for a minute, let that ink sink in. There we go. Okay, so let's do some die cutting now. I think, well, we'll stamp the inside later, but let's do a little bit of die cutting. I'm going to bring in back that blue, and I'm going to bring in that glimmer paper that has the adhesive back. With the coordinating dies, I'm going to cut out that balloon here, and I'm going to cut out like this little, well, maybe I am if I can pick it up, this little tail here. And let me poke out, it has some yellow paper from the last time I used it. I don't want that in there. Another die set that I'm going to use today is this, what's this one called? This is Wanted to Say dies. Now, I love this die set. This has all kinds of layered words. So it has happy birthday, it has celebrate, it has feel better. I can't even tell what that one says. We'll have to look in the catalog. Although you can go to my blog, becreativewithkathy.com. Give me a few minutes after the video, and there'll be a supply list there too, and you could see there what that's called, or what the other words are in there, because off the top of my head, I can't read it because it's just an outline. Hang on, this is bugging me too. I got to get that out of there, and maybe I can't. But anyway, so there's a supply list on my blog, and all the measurements for all these card pieces will be on my blog too. And that's becreativewithkathy.com. So this, that cuts out the happy birthday, I'm going to put that and that little like tail on my glimmer paper. And then I am going to just use some Post-it tape to hold those down. Now, if you don't have Post-it tape, it's not a Stampin' Up! Product. It's just something that I get up off Amazon. And I have a link on my blog too under maybe it's not going to stick. Look, it's not going to stick to those. Oh well, it'll hold them together for me. And then that outline of the happy birthday. Anyway, back on my blog, it's like essentials for your craft room or something like that. I'll put the link in the description below in case you need some post-it tape, because I tend to use mine quite a bit, even more lately than I used to. So bring in my little die cut machine here and my plates. So I need cutting plate number 1 and both of my clear cutting pads. Let's do the, oops, I forgot to put number 2 in there. And you can't even see what I'm doing. There we go. I'm going to lay that glimmer paper with those 2 dies on there. Cut that out. Maybe. That glimmer paper is thick. And I'm going to go through one time, and then just because that glimmer paper is so thick, try to do 2 things, and then I'm going to run it back through. There we go. Poor little machine. You've got this. Okay. Then let's go ahead and slip those out, set those aside, lay my little outline happy birthday in there the same way. This isn't thick, so he'll go right through, no problem. And then I'm going to use that post-it tape here to keep my balloon where I want it on my paper. So let's line that up real quick. And hold that down and run that through our machine. And now I think we have all of our pieces and parts, and we can start putting our card together. Ooh, and did I mention I have been playing with the spanner card, and I have a bunch of samples that I'll show you at the end of the video with the products that I use to make that too. Now I have to tell you, when they said spanner card, I couldn't figure out what the heck, S-P-A-N-N-E-R card. I couldn't figure out why you would call this card a spanner. And all I came across when I looked for it was that it's like a wrench. A spanner is a big wrench that kind of has a shape like this, you know, like a wrench. Maybe you're familiar with wrenches. Anyway, so maybe because it has this shape here, that's why it's called a spanner card. I don't know. If you know, please share, because I'm baffled. But whatever it's called, it's a cute card. I like to make it, so here we go. I guess I won't worry too much about the name. I'm going to line up, I'm going to fold on that score line on all these strips now, making sure that my corners line up here on my card. This one making sure it lines up at the bottom, and this one making sure it lines up. I'm going to grab my bone folder and make sure that's a nice crisp and look, so it looks pretty good down here now. Okay, so let's go ahead and attach our designer series paper. Grab my adhesive, and I'm going to start on this side. Doesn't matter why, you could start in the middle. I'm going to just lay down this one right here. And then I'll lay down that center. Now with this piece of designer series paper, because those stars are so random, you don't even have to worry about matching anything up. But wait till I show you some of my samples. Some of them are pretty fancy and some of them are pretty plain, but some of them, it was important that you line that designer series paper up. And like I said, at the end of when I'm done making my card, I'll show you those cards, which, yep, I'm pretty proud of. I thought they turned out pretty nice. Let's go ahead and add this designer series paper to this strip here. I'll throw my tape down. I should set it down right here. And then let's go ahead and get our happy birthday ready. So we have the outline here, and we have this piece here. Ooh, that I almost missed, but I think it's going to work. I almost went off the edge of my paper. Let's see if I can just pull it out of here like this. And the back, looky there. That's so much easier. There we go. And then I can stick, I got to get those centers of the letters out. But it's kind of nice that Stampin' Up! Has already applied the adhesive to the back of this glimmer paper, because now you can just take that and set it right here and make a really pretty blingy. Oh, wait, look, I missed the center of this P right here. There it goes. Of that. Now let me try to get those little pieces off my fingers into the trash. Hang on a second. See how they stick to everything. Okay, now let's do the birthday. We got that one. Let's see if we can do the birthday the same way. Because if I can leave the backing here and just take the birthday, look how easy it is to get that backing off. Nice. Okay, now we got to get the centers of the letters again. And then we can lay this right down here. I am so excited now, even more so with that adhesive back glimmer paper, because look at how pretty that is with those dies. Nice, right? All right. Okay, let's go ahead and assemble our card now, because I think we have all of our pieces and parts. We'll just do a little stamping at the end. Let's clean up a little bit. Nope, I need to hang on to this piece because I have my little tail right here. Okay. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do, and you can see on this card, Maxine, well, and Glenda, put this piece back here. So I'm going to just do the same thing with that. Although on my card, I'm not going to do that. I want this piece to be in the front. So I'm going to flip this up like this. I'm going to take this piece and lay it down here. And then I'm going to put some adhesive. I'm going to use a strong adhesive. I'm going to use Seal Plus. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive here and a little bit of adhesive here, making sure that it's not wider than my strip of cardstock down here. Then lining these up at the bottom here as I close this piece, making sure my corners line up, and set this piece down, doing the same thing. Now I have this piece in the front here that opens, and then a piece like this, and no adhesive back here that's going to stick to my card. But this, since I use that strong adhesive, is going to be stuck down really well. Cute, right? Okay, let's go ahead and work on the inside real quick, do a little bit more stamping. And I'm going to bring in my foam mat again, like this. I'm going to lay, this might not work, I'm going to try like this, because I want the inside, I'm going to lay it like this. I want the inside to show through this little window right here. And I have these two stamps that I'm going to stamp. I'm going to stamp Let's Get Our Celebration On and that great big balloon again. So I'm going to start Afternoon Azure ink and that Let's Get Our Celebration On, and see if I can't fit it right there in that little window. Thank goodness for photopolymer that you can see through, right? And I haven't adhered my centerpiece or the inside of my card down, just in case we have a whoops and I have to do it again. So I'm going to start up here close to the top to make sure my balloon fits on there. That looks pretty good. What do you think? We stamp that down right there. Yeah, I think that turned out nice. And then we'll get that Daffodil Delight out again, ink up our balloon really good. Now, I have to tell you, I can see, Karen, that you're watching, and my goal is sometime, hopefully next Monday, to have things set up so it can actually respond to people watching. That has always been something I've wanted to do, and I've just never had, I've never been able to do it. I see other demonstrators do it all the time, and it looks like a lot of fun. So my goal is to step out of my comfort zone and respond here. And I don't know who else is on here, so I apologize if you're watching. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting what I do here. Oh, but look how cute that looks in the center of my card there. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that down. We're done stamping. I'll put that away. That's what I need to figure out, if I need to grab my iPad or if I need to get my phone or something else so I can see who's watching and who's commenting and try to respond. But it's in the future. I'm still going to work on that. Okay, I finally got my volume down, at least my audio, so now we'll try the other parts. Okay, so here's the inside. Look how cute the inside of my card is now. Look at that little peekaboo. And now we're just going to decorate the front here. I'm going to take some dimensionals on the back of my balloon, and these dimensionals, well, no, look, there's 3 left on that page beside the sides, so I can cut the sides later. We'll put my balloon right here. And then I'm going to take that tail here that I punched out or die cut with that. Let's get rid of some of those pieces, little pieces that didn't fall out. Okay, and then that's already got the sticky on the back because that's the adhesive backed glimmer. And look how pretty that looks right there. Just add that little bit of glimmer to the card. I'm going to go ahead and put some mini dimensionals on the bottom part of my happy birthday here. And then I'm going to try to get a little bit of tape on there, just in little spots. There we go. Take those backs off. And I'm going to lay this over. Well, maybe I got to grab my take a pic tool. I have no fingernails right now. I don't know if you guys realize or not, but I'm a softball coach in high school, and in Colorado, it's in the fall here, but during softball season, I have no fingernails whatsoever. So we're going to lay that right there at the sideways, and look how cute my little card is. Don't you think that's adorable? The spanner card is really cute, the whole concept of the bridge part in here that kind of keeps the story going is how I like to say it. And then down here, I could either write my sentiment here or down here, and it's kind of a little surprise there at the end. I'm going to put my bone folder over this edge one more time to try to get it to lay flat. And there we go. Look at that. Okay, so now, as promised, I have a few more. I shouldn't say tons more, but I have a few more cards that I'm going to show you and the products that I used when I made them. I kind of like them. Okay, let's start out with this one here. Now, when you use this punch, where'd the punch go? This punch here, right? This punch also works with this designer series paper. Did you see this designer series paper is called A Walk in the Forest? And now this is when you buy this paper, Stampin' Up! Donates like $3 or something like that to an organization, a charity, something. I won't want to call them a charity, but that Stampin' Up! Donates money when you purchase this paper. Let me show this paper. So this one's one of my favorite products or patterns. I'm going to do a card with this one next week, but there's that, and then the back. This is where you can punch out. You can use that bear punch. It coordinates and punches out these bears too. These trees, let me see if I can find, oh, did I forget to bring my tree dies over here? Shoot, I sure did. So there's tree dies in the mini catalog right now that you can cut out several of these trees, and that's what I did here. See, I cut these trees out. And then, of course, when you're using the bear, you got to use the wildlife. And so I used the stamp set like this to put the sentiment on this card. So it looks like that. And then you open it up, and there's that brown bear. And then I even made the birthday. So it says sending birthday, and then you open it up again, and then it says wishes. And you'll notice here that I punched the bear again in some pecans, so the back of my bear looks as good as the front. So it looks like that. Is that not adorable? Okay, let's keep going. So that's one pair. This is another pattern. And then with this kind of Christmas pattern and this kind of Christmas pattern, this is the snowy one that I showed you before. Look how cute. There's more bears that you can punch out and little bears facing you. It's a cute paper. Okay, I'll try to go quick. I only have a couple more. I'm dying to show you. Look how cute the snowflakes are. All right, like I said, I just love this paper, and the fact that it helps a good organization all makes it all the better. So that's what I did for this card. Let's go to the next card. That's this one. And then I did use those sparkly, I don't know if you can see them, those sparkly sequins on there. Look how pretty those are. Okay, next card. Looks like, so then I thought I'm going to use something that's not Christmassy. So I brought in those translucent florals and the translucent laurel dies like this, right? And I made this card here. Now this card, instead of having a strip of paper here, I used a window sheet, so it has like a translucent thing there, and then you open it up and it's all in there. Now this was a little too purple for me, and I wished I would have stamped my flowers to look more like this, but I did use my markers to kind of color my stamp and tried to dim it or copy what they did on the designer series paper there. For here, now let me show you how I did this. I thought that was fun and a different way to use your dies. So I took this die here, and let's see, I don't have a marker. Yes, I do have a marker here. I took this die here and I cut it out with my paper. I left the die there, and then I took a Stampin' Write marker and I colored on the inside, or made a mark around the inside, and that's how I got that layer around, or that inside on the die. Like I said, I had my paper still in there, and I just took a marker and went like this along the inside, and that's how I got that. I liked how that turned out. I thought I'd share. And then on the back, you can see that you can barely see adhesive on my window sheet here, and what I did there was I used Stampin' Up's adhesive sheets, so that adhesive sheets don't show up quite as much as any other adhesive when you're working with your window sheets. I just thought that was a little tip there too. Okay, next card, which might be my favorite. Looky here, look how pretty this one is. So this one opens like this, and then it has this in there, and this is using that what's this called, One Horse Open Sleigh Designer Series paper, and I'm sure you've seen this before. Look at all these pretty prints. Oops, I forgot the other side. Looks like this, and then you have this kind of paper, and this one. It's just all kinds of nice outdoor scenes, some wood grains. Look at all these papers. Look at the little fox on that one, how cute he is. On the more wood grain. On this one, the back looks like that. This is great paper. I love this paper. Now, this paper is online exclusive. You can only get this paper online. It's not in any catalog. And that one too. Look at how pretty those papers are. Like this. So this is the designer series paper I used for that card. The back looks like that. But let me tell you a little bit about what I did for this card with this designer series paper. So I took and I cut out and colored that horse and sleigh. Can you see I used just a touch of that glimmer paper right here, the adhesive back glimmer paper, and put that as just like a little, I don't know, finishing touch on my sleigh. It's part of the dies. So the stamp set looks like this, and it comes with all of these dies. And if you're wondering if you can see it here, let me see if I can see this die right here. That is what I cut the glimmer paper out of and put that right. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but on my card it's just beautiful. Okay, anyway, the snowbank back here is these little pieces here that I cut out of the snowbank, and like I said, the horse and sleigh. And then I did cut out another horse and sleigh to cover it up so that the back of my card looks nice too. And then I just used part of the stamp set here to stamp it in the red and in the blue. I think this one might be my favorite. I love this card. I might make a few more of those just for kicks. Okay, and then the last card I have is using that same designer series paper. Look how cute that little deer is. I did the same thing. I used this Charming Sentiments because I wanted just a little bit on the front. I really wanted the deer and the trees to be my focal point. So this was a very easy card, almost all designer series paper. But then you open it up. This is where I would write my sentiment, and then you open it up again. Now, I wished I wouldn't have put my paper, the designer series paper here. I wished I would have stamped two of the little trees, and you can see just a little bit of peek of that little bunny, which is a part of the horse and sleigh stamp set right there. And I did color him with a little bit of Stampin' Blends. But there you go. So there's my fun spanner addiction, I guess you would call it. Here's all my cards that I made. And then here's the one that we made together today. So if you give me just a few more minutes, I'll go and get all the supplies and the measurements on my blog, BeCreativeWithKathy.com. Thanks for watching. I appreciate your support. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you back here next Monday. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.